Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to the final episode of Lone Oak Farm. It's the start of day 4, it's quite cloudy as you can see, a little bit overcast, and we are making our way over to the BGA to clear off that big mountain of silage that we have. Hundreds of thousands of litres. We can't get an accurate read because unfortunately a large chunk of it is sat outside of a bunker, so it does make a measurement of it a little bit tricky. But there's a lot there. There's, I would say, at least 700,000-800,000 litres, probably more. It's a lot. I wouldn't be at all surprised, actually, if we're over 1 million litres. So we're going to be trying something a little bit different this time. You know, we've done silage sales in the past, and we've done belt sales, which is what we're going to kind of be doing today. We're going to be selling this mainly with the belt, but we're also going to be using our awesome Roper Navarro mouse as well. You're going to be using that in the back of a pit, and I'm going to be having a belt at the front and a belt to the side, and we're going to be feeding the side belt with this while the front belt just takes from whatever's available. That'll be our backup so that we keep a continuous flow. And the Magnum is also at the BGA already on standby just in case we need to start doing some pile management. Hopefully we'll be alright, but it's there just in case we need it. So let's make our way into the BGA itself. You see all the spotlights are on, partly because it's early morning, partly because it's really cloudy. A lot more overcast than it should be. And here we can kind of see our equipment is almost set up, ready and waiting for us. Just needs a little bit of a tweak. So we're going to pull this into the back here. Quite narrow against the wall and the silage, but once we get through we'll be okay. There we go. And I don't know if this is going to work. This might backfire spectacularly, but you know, I think it's going to be fun to try something a little bit different on the way out. So let's just get unfolded. There we go. So, the basic plan, if I jump out that for a second, if I can turn on all the spotlights. There we go. A little bit extra light in here. The basic plan is that we're going to have a belt here at the front, which is going to take off, you know, all of this stuff. Get the spotlight on as well. The torch. So all of this stuff here that's sat at the front, that's outside of the bunker, this belt will hopefully deal with a large chunk of that, if not all of it. And then we have this belt that's running down the side. Now, because of its close proximity, it'll bit through from here anyway. But the plan is that we're going to move this forward just through the bunker here, and it's going to feed over the wall to this belt. And as soon as we get past this belt, I'm hoping we can drop directly onto this belt here, which will then carry the feed on. This is where it gets a little bit experimental and might not work, which again is why I wanted to have this as a backup belt. So if we do have any issues and the stream breaks for whatever reason on this side, we still have this belt here to keep the flow of silage going. Let's take a look at our price at the moment, see what we're being offered. It's not a great price, $4.28. It could be a little bit higher, but yeah, silage is pretty consistent. We know that much. So while it's not a stellar price, it's not. If it were to go up, it wouldn't go up that much. So yeah, it's not too bad. So let's get these belts started. We're going to start with this one. So let's rotate this belt through. There we go. Very quickly run over to the other belt. I'm going to rotate that around as well. Ooh, I've already messed up. Pull that back a little bit, give me a bit more turning room with this belt, which is now wedged. Oh, dear. Maybe I can push myself free that way. Yes, I can. There we go. Oh, it's so dark, I can barely see what's going on. There we go. And now we're tipping. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so we're sorted. So now we need to start chasing our side. As you can see here, it's starting to pull through the wall already. That's only going to happen at the very front. So we need to get active on the rest of this. So let me change the position of the belt as best I can. And is it going to let me tip anywhere? No, it's not. It's not going to let me unload this thing. Okay, so straight away we have a problem. That has not worked out at all. We're going to need to very quickly grab another belt. Nuts. Okay, what we'll try and do then is we'll try and just manage this to start with using the Magnum until we can get closer to the belts. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. I've already started the silage sale. I'm wary about finishing it early, so yeah, we'll just have to kind of make do until we can actually try and put this experiment in position. I should have probably tested this actually to see whether or not I could unload onto a belt, because we certainly don't seem to be able to unload just onto the ground. I'm surprised at that. I thought we would have been able to tip anywhere with this, but apparently not. So I need to lower cruise control down to a manageable speed. Start shoving this forward just to fill the gaps where I can. You can see we do have a few gaps along the wall. Large amount at the front, but it's only going to last so long before that runs out. I got the idea from this when we were unloading the oh, I'm at the wrong time scale. I wonder why everything had slowed down. I'm at real time. Should be at ×5. There we go. I wonder why the belts had slowed right down to a crawl. Yeah, I got the idea from this when we were unloading the trailers, or loading the trailers from our pit at the farm, and we were loading over the wall into the trailers. And it gave me the idea of trying to do that here. But unfortunately, so far it hasn't worked. It's proving a little bit awkward to get everything set up. Careful I don't shred my tyre on that rotor. just need to get a little bit further forward. If I can get a little bit further forward, then I can try and unload directly onto a belt. But at the moment we're not far forward enough. Try and fill that gap behind us or in front of us, just there. There we go, that's given us an extra bit of space. Also wary of pushing the pile out too wide as well, because then it's going to mean a lot of backing and forth to reposition the roper. Alright, I don't think we're going to get too much better than that. Let's see if we can reposition a little bit closer now. Let's see if we can actually get this idea to work. Might need to try and get further away from the wall as well. Kind of stuck on the wall at the moment. There we go. Can I... bring that arm really far forward? That's the thing I love about this as well. It's just how flexible that head is. You know, that arm, sorry, that arm is. So it's giving me an unload here option. Oh, there's no silage in this part of the bunker. That's why. That's why this isn't going to work. You can't unload silage into a bunker. Okay, yeah, we are going to need another belt so that we have something to unload onto. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit stop-start this, unfortunately. I'm going to go grab another belt, get that into position. Hopefully the silage won't stop flowing while we're doing that, and I will see you in just a moment. Okay, we are back here, and it does work. However, you have to be really precise with the positioning of the arm. It will load onto a belt, as you can see. There we go. So the idea is now working. And I have repositioned the front belt a little bit. But there we go, we are working. We did have a slight break while I was bringing the second belt back. So the first bit of silage that was sold was about $80,000. And beyond that, it's been a continuous run. And I've just, as you can see, just restarted. You know, I managed to do a little test to make sure that the belt would actually collect the silage, which it is doing. And this helps out immensely. I've repositioned the front belt slightly before they disconnect. And you can see I now actually have, because I've got that right up against the wall now, I do have the ability to kind of move a bit further away from the wall and still get silage to it, which is awesome. This is what I was hoping I'd be able to do. I completely forgot that, of course, because you can't tip into a bunker without silage already being in there, you can't add silage to an empty bunker. You can only add silage to silage. You know, the initial plan of having a pickup belt wouldn't work. I just didn't think that bit through, which is a bit of a shame, but it's dealt with now, so I'm going to keep on ploughing away at this, and we will get this silage sold off nice and quickly. So let's just see. Currently we are on, let's see, it's going to be in harvest income, I think, isn't it? Or my BGA income, there you can see. We're up to $116,000 so far in terms of income. Now, 80,000 of that was a single stream. The rest has been a little bit, different. Hasn't affected the price because it wasn't a massive amount that went through, but I do need to be wary of that going forward. So, yes, I will keep plodding away at this, and I will catch up with you once we've made a bit more progress. Well, we've just passed $2.5 million in the bank, which means we're closing in on $200,000 sold. We've just passed it actually. $206,000 of silage has been sold, and this is working absolutely beautifully. It's working better than I could have imagined. I thought I'd be constantly having to reposition the roper and breaking the stream, but it's actually been really easy to keep this belt here on the side fed. It's only stopped just a couple of times, and I have repositioned the front belt every now and again just to try and either change the angle or get a little bit closer to the silage. So you can see I'm just starting to work on that lump over there at the front now, which is going to be a little bit more awkward for this Navarro mouse to actually get into. But it's been working so well, this combination of having a backup belt at the front to keep the continual stream and this running here, so that if I do need to make a reposition, I don't lose, I don't break the stream of silage. And it has worked so well, so simple. And you'll be able to try this in Farming Sim 19 as well, which is so close away now. Just 2 days until that goes live. Less than 2 days for me as this goes live. It'll be, let's see, this will go live at 6 o'clock on Sunday, so it'll be 18 hours until I get to play Farming Sim 19 from this going live. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. And because all of the equipment that we're using is going to be in Farming Sim 19, we can try this again. We can reproduce this if we want to in Farming Sim 19, because the Navarro mouse is confirmed. Obviously the belts are going to be there, so we can use this as a regular idea and tactic going forward when it comes to emptying out a silage bunker. So we've just gone 8:30 in the morning, and I honestly thought this job would take us longer than it has been taking, which is why I started so early. And it turns out we're almost done in some respects. It's not going to take us too much longer to plough through this, maybe another hour or a couple of hours at most, I would have thought. But you can see what I've done is I've squashed that belt up. Now, you can't tip on the back half of the belt, you can only tip on the front half. So as we've moved further and further forward, I've basically just closed that belt up. And of course, the bit behind is also a tippable bit, so we can tip anywhere onto that conveyor belt now going forward. It's given us that kind of flexibility and freedom. What I also did was bring this leftover belt in to this area here, just to get this little awkward bit that was spilling around the corner. That's now gone pretty much, just got a little bit here by the steps. So once that's done its job, that'll just kind of stop filling, and that's fine. And I fed it into our roper belt just so that it was extra going into there just in case. And I've just been continually just tweaking this here and there where I need to, just to make sure that it stays nice and close to the front and keeps silage going through. We haven't broken the flow since that first little $80,000 mishap. at the beginning. Everything has been a nice continual flow, and it's just, as I say, this has worked so well, and it's made this so much easier than the last time we tried to do this, where we were constantly having to use the Magnum to push the silage forward to feed the belts continually. We've had a belt at the front which has been taking away from that large supply there, and we've just been extending the reach of the belt into the tipper to move closer and closer and closer. And with this, we can just drive this straight up the back of the pit. So it's so much easier than having to manually push all that silage forward with a leveling blade. It's been absolutely brilliant. This has worked out so well. So yeah, not a lot left to go. We are at 2.64 million in the bank. Let's see, we have sold $345,000 of silage now. I think we could be on for $500,000 easy here. So it's going very well indeed. I'll see you once we're a little bit closer to getting finished. Well, we're past $400,000 of income here from the BGA. We're currently at $411,000 now. It's going up quite nicely, as you can see. Not a lot left. There's just that big block there. We are still taking at the front, and this mouse is still chugging away, clearing out this whole section here as well. As I said, this has just been working so well. It's been so smooth, so easy to reposition, and the immense flexibility of control that the arm provides, being able to rotate so efficiently and effectively, has made this absolutely a joy to use in this pit. It really has. I think this might possibly become the default way that I do silage from now on. It's just been so good. It really has. Obviously, it's a very expensive way to get started. You need 313,000, I think it is, to buy one of these. Oh, 328. So yeah, not cheap, but it has been absolutely a joy to use in this pit. Silage has always been quite tough to do with a belt stream system like this, where you have a continual feed, because you manually have to keep pushing all of that silage all the way through from the back of the pit all the way up to the front, and there are times when it gets quite stressful trying to make sure that you don't break the feed. None of those issues here. This has been absolutely a joy to do. So quick and easy. Just a little bit of a tweak and a little bit of a reposition on the arm, and nothing happens, nothing breaks. So yeah, not a lot left now. As you can see, we are really getting down to the crunch end of it. I'm hoping we can hit 500,000. Up to 426 now, so it's possible. I think there's just about enough left for us to hit that target. It's going to be close, and we'll see where we end up once this is all gone. It is getting really close to the final end of this little silage sale here, and we're getting really close to whether or not we can actually hit our target. We're at $471,000 earned today. I was hoping for $500,000. I don't know if we can do it. I think we can. I think we've got 30,000 there on the floor. Plus, don't forget there's whatever's still in the belts waiting to be sort of carried through. And it's still unbroken. It's still all one continuous stream. Our price hasn't fluctuated. It's still 428 because it's starting to go back up at the barn, having dropped down earlier. 475 now. It's close. I think we'll do it. I think it's going to be really close, but I think we'll just do it. You can see how easily we're just munching through it as well. The combination of the belts at the front and this moving from behind has just been fantastic. It's made this so easy. It really has. To reposition the arm a little bit so I can attack at a wider angle. There we go. In fact, actually, I can start pulling that in a bit now. Last little bit. What are we looking at? 484. I don't think we're going to do it. I think we're going to fall just short. Ah, yeah, this is going to be so close. Can we hit 500,000? There's so little left. I think we might possibly have a little break in our stream as well. I'm trying so hard to avoid that. There we go, last little bit. And there we go, the bunker silo is empty. Last bit going through the roper itself. There we go, now the roper is empty. Now it's time for the belt to empty out. Still going. A little bit more, a little bit more. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's so close. And that's it, we're done. So, if you add in the 81,000 or so, we made little under 500,000. 497,000. Oh, we were so close. We were so close to 500,000 of silage, but that's been a very successful little silage sale. If I don't, even if I say so myself, and we've completely cleared out all of the silage that we had left over. I'm incredibly happy with the result from that. We're up to 2.794,700 in terms of our income as well. So a little under $2.8 million in the bank. We still have our sunflowers to sell as well, don't forget. And I still have 28,000 litres of silage left at the silo. I completely forgot about that. We've killed the price. We've completely killed the price. So there's not a lot we can do about that. Where is that last 28,000? I could have sworn I'd emptied out the bunker. Apparently not. Okay, so we'll sell that when we come to sell our sunflowers. You can see the price is not great at the moment, but they are going to shoot up tomorrow and the day after that. So we'll start closing down the farm completely, and one of the very last things we'll do will be to sell off our sunflowers. So let's get this back to the farm, and we'll arrange for the belts to be returned, because they were just leased. There we go. And I will see you tomorrow, I suppose, when we're ready to start looking at selling off our sunflowers. So we're into day 5. It's a pretty overcast morning again, as you can see, very cloudy, very miserable. To be expected. At least it's not snowing. I suppose that's something. We do still have the last of our sunflowers to sell off. If we take a look, you can see we have 159,000 litres and change, and the price is going up at AgriXJS. Now, it is actually going down at Lone Wolf at the moment, and we could hang on another day, but we kind of really need to be out of here by tomorrow, and I don't want to have a grain sale, hanging over our heads at a time when the markets could be in a collapsing state. So we're going to go and very quickly sell about 19,000 litres or so at Lone Wolf, and then the rest of that we'll sell a little bit later today at AgriXJS. We are at the moment in the process of trying to arrange sale of the farm and the equipment that goes with the farm. A lot of it is going to stay here at the farm. Let's put in just over 19,000 litres. And there we go, we've got just under a full trailer, or a double trailer, for the next location. So need some lights on. There we go. We're going to take this load over to AgriXJS, sorry, to Lone Wolf. As I say, the remaining 2 trailers worth will go at AgriXJS later today when the price is finished going up. Hopefully it'll raise up a little bit higher than the price that we currently have. And this is going to add a nice little bit of extra cash. We're going to fall just short of 3 million on our total income, or our total profit, as I should say. Our total income has been monstrous over the course of 3 years, but a lot of that has been reinvested in the farm in terms of land costs and equipment costs. So, plus leasing costs as well. Don't forget we spent, 80 grand leasing. Oh, our truck is breaking down. Okay, so we're going to have to do some maintenance on our truck when we get back to the farm. Make sure that this is in tip-top condition for the final run later. The other truck I'm hoping should be okay, but this is our older truck. This is the one we had first out of the 2 that we've got. We've had this truck since day one, and the engine's gone again. Look, there we go. So yeah, definitely going to have to do some maintenance work on this. Make sure that it's running nice and smooth, or at the very least, just make sure that it works long enough to get to get us to the sell point later today. Because that would be bad if it conks out on us when we're in the middle of a grain sale. There we go. Roads are nice and clear this morning, which is a little bit of a surprise. So not a large load here, just 19,000 litres, well, just over 19,000 litres. But it'll give us a little bit of extra cash. Ooh, what do we hit? Not so clever there. There we go, take a wider turn. Get this grain through, see where that's going to put us. $27,000 effectively. That's not a bad little income. We're going to try and use the truck wash if we can. Get parked up. We are looking a little bit dirty, as you can see. My only worry is, of course, that now that we've parked up and turned the engine off, can I get it started again? That is the question. Will this truck actually fire back up? I hope it will. Got to get it back to the farm. A little bit of a spray down on the trailer as well. It's mainly clean already. It's just the truck I was worried about. There we go. It will get started again, that's good. Pull our way through, there we go. We'll make our way back to the farm, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on the pricing at Agri XJS. We will be selling off the last 2 loads of sunflowers a little bit later today, so that we can clear off out of the farm tomorrow. All of a sudden, it's got very heavy traffic-wise, as you can see. A lot of cars on the road. Clear that way. Clear this way now. There we go. So let's get this back to the farm. Let's put it through some maintenance, and then we'll get the last of our crops, the very last amount of our grain crops sold off. And all that remains to do after that will be to sell off our remaining 28,000 litres of silage. The price at the BGA is still in recovery. It's not back to where it needs to be just yet, but hopefully by the end of the day we'll be able to run that over there as well and get the last silage sold off as well. We do have a little bit of grass left in the silo. We're just going to leave that for whoever takes over the farm. It may well just rot away, and so we could perhaps, just do a little bit of composting. Let someone use that as some fertilizer or something. We'll discuss that with the new owner of the farm. We have had a few initial offers. We're just hammering out some final details, and as I say, we are expecting to be out of here tomorrow and ready to move on to a new location. So we just sweep around here. There we go. Get the shutters open. We'll get the truck in and get some maintenance carried out on this thing, some much needed maintenance. Okay, so the price has stabilized. We're looking at $1,364 per 1,000 litres. It's not a great price, but it's not a bad price. I'm comfortable with that. So we'll get that sold as quickly as we can. Time is ticking on, as you can see. It's 4:30, just gone 4:30 in the afternoon. So it's going to be starting to get dark soon. You can see there is a threat of rain on the radar. That's actually tomorrow's rain that is starting to register on the radar. It's not going to rain today. But as soon as we can get this grain sold, we can finalise our deals and we can make our way out of here. We'll be leaving tomorrow morning, packing up and just driving off. The movers will be on their way over to collect some of our personal belongings. As I say, a lot of the equipment is going to stay here with the farm, and we're just going to be driving off, following off the movers and moving on to a new undisclosed location. You will see me somewhere else very soon, that is for certain. So let's start the fill process on the second truck. There we go. It's time to make our way over to Agri XJS. So this is our final grain sale of Farming Sim 17. We do have one last thing to sell, and don't forget that is that last little bit of silage. We'll be bringing that up in just a moment. But this is the last of our crops that needs to be sold, our sunflowers here. So just get the nod from the window there. The weight has been recorded. I need to try and get in here without scraping the trucks if I can. Oops, we're caught on something. There we go, so we're in. So let's start our final sale and see just how much we can actually get. There goes the first load of sunflower. And the second load tipping away. We're going to fall just short of the 3 million profit, but we're still going to get pretty close. And of course, we could always push ourselves over that limit by selling off a piece of equipment, but yeah, that would be kind of artificially inflating it a little bit. Doing quite well though. Look, we're at 2.92, and still both trailers are tipping. Oh, there goes the first one. That's 2.95. Ah, nearly 2.96. $190,580 off that sunflower there. That is a very, very nice amount indeed. And with that last little bit of silage, it's not going to get us all the way there, but if we can get $40,000, which I don't think we can. In fact, no, I know for a fact we can't, because the price just isn't going to be strong enough. But again, it's going to make us that little bit closer to 3 million. So we just missed out on the 3 million total, but not by much, at all. Let's get that last little bit of silage sold and see exactly where we end up as our final sort of income tally. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to get dark. It is winter after all. It does get dark quite early here, but we have the final load of silage, the last remaining 28,000 litres. So let's get this tipped. There we go. Uh, 2.969938. We're effectively at 2.97 million, and that is complete profit, pure profit. You know, we could have maximised our cash a little bit better in places across the last 3 years. We certainly could have avoided some of the huge debts that we had to take on if we perhaps been a little bit luckier. I mean, who knew how much, you know, that with that Magnum breaking down, that one event stopped me from breaking 3 million. You know, we had to pay, you know, what, 16, 17 grand to get the engine rebuilt and uprated, and on top of that we had to pay another 80 odd grand in terms of lease costs for the Magnum. So that right there, that's 100 grand effectively, you know, that we could have had, and that would have put us on nearly 3.1 million, 3.07 million. That one event there stopped us from making 3 million, and there are other events that have happened, you know, where maybe if we'd just been a bit more on the ball with the orchard and not let it run empty for a day or so, we could have easily made our money there. That was kicking out at its peak around $100,000 a day. So we almost made the 3 million. We didn't quite, but it's not a failure. It's not a failure at all, because, you know, we got so close to $3 million of pure profit, having spent a ton of money expanding our very small equipment lineup at the start, where we had two very old 1660 combines and a Puma, a Magnum, and a 1455, and we expanded. and we took on animals, and we took on equipment for the animals, and we bought more land, and we bought an uprated engine for the Magnum. We spent a lot of money leasing a quad track. We bought an Optum. We bought in some horrendously expensive and potentially unnecessary equipment towards the end, just so that we could use it. You know, with the Big M, we didn't really need the Big M, but I wanted to use it, so we brought that in at great expense. We didn't really need the Navarro mouse, but that was just such a joy to use, so much fun. And again, either of those two purchases, if we hadn't made those, we'd have comfortably cleared $3 million of profit. But it's nearly $3 million of profit after all that expense and all that hard work, after struggling with a debt of nearly $1.5 million for almost a year. To have turned that around so spectacularly is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm so pleased with how our farm has gone from start to finish, the progress that we've made, the additional land that we've acquired. Everything. It's just been so much fun to work on this farm, and I'm going to miss it immensely when we move on to our new location on FS19. So I may well potentially come back, at least privately, and continue this farm on FS19 when it eventually gets released. Let's get the lights off. There we go. So we'll shut the farm down for the night, and then tomorrow we're out of here. We're off to somewhere else. A lot of memories in this place. It's going to be very weird not coming back here. So, it's time for us to say goodbye. The movers have been paid. I just saw the last of the moving vans rolling out. Just making sure that everything is closed up in here now. The back door is closed and locked. Good. So, it's time for us to head on out to Pastures New. Let's get the garage door open. There we go. It's a shame it's raining. I was hoping we could maybe go out with a nice little bit of sunny sky, but alas, it was not to be. So, let's carefully make our way out of here. Don't want to ding up my brand new car. Well, it's not brand new anymore, is it? We've had it for we've had it for a little while now. But there we go. Again, this could have been a reason why we didn't hit 3 million, because I spent some money buying a vanity purchase on a car that we didn't really need, but I figured this was a great way for us to roll on out. So yeah, it's going to be sad to see the back of this place. I've really enjoyed my time here in Northwest Oregon. It's been fantastic. An amazing farm to play on. All credit to Bullet Bill, did an amazing job on this map. Absolutely brilliant. But all good things must come to an end, and with the imminent release of Farming Sim 19 just less than 2 days away now, then the time has come for us to pack up our bags and move on to a new location. We could have stayed here for so long. I mean, we kind of did. We stayed here for 3 years. You can see here it's the final day of winter in year 3, and yet yeah, as I say, all good things must come to an end. It is time for us to relocate ourselves somewhere else. So I will be back with some new Farming Simulator 19 footage in just a couple of days. We're going to be looking at both of the new maps in some good detail. We're going to be going over some of the new features, the new extras. We're going to be looking at some of the new vehicles and equipment, and really sort of getting to grips with Farming Sim 19 in general. So that's it from me for the final time here on Lone Oak. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with some Farming Simulator 19 very soon.